What's going on, people? Welcome to the BV Sports Show. I am your host, Joey, aka Tottenham Joe. You already know the vibe, already know the motion. Special show this evening. We're joined by a very special guest, none other than Anthony Acheampong, former footballer turned agent. To my right, we got the infamous Don P, of course.
It's not Sunday today, lads, so I'm going to be serious.
But yeah, before we get into anything, we're just going to say like, comment and subscribe as always. And, you know, keep rocking with us. Obviously, we're going to have more content pushing out as well. So stay tuned for that. But first and foremost, Anthony, talk us through your early life. Who's Anthony Acheampong and where did it all begin?
Okay. First, thanks for having me on your show. Definitely appreciate the platform to talk. Who's Anthony Acheampong? Just like you, man. I'm just one of the man. Just one of the man. Them. I would say I'm an ambitious person and just someone that's always willing to do what it takes to push and progress. Now, yeah. Where
did it all start for you? Like, born in London?
Yeah. So I was born and raised in London, Newham precisely. I went to St Helens primary school. Then I went secondary school in Beckton, a school called Kingsford.
My old school as well.
Yeah. So just knew him through and through. Just been playing football like everyone else from a young age, and fell in love with the sport. And yeah, man, it's just been my passion. I'm still involved in the sport now, and it's the life I live right now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So coming up then in Newham, obviously, what age did you first starting to like take interest and start playing football and stuff like that?
Just from primary school, really. In primary school, I don't even know what age I was when I started, but yeah, just played. Probably what I can remember is probably like year 6. Then played for the school, then played for Newham, and then just like went secondary school, carried it on, sort of thing, and then just been playing basically as long as I can remember, to be honest.
Who was your boyhood club?
My boyhood club, to be honest, was Arsenal. I was at Arsenal. But you know what? I feel like when you're in the game or been involved in the game, I don't think like me personally anyway, I don't really support anyone like that.
Quite common, yeah.
But yeah, Arsenal was my club as a kid.
But you support fantasy football though.
But I support fantasy football, as you know. And now, do you know what? I'm loyal to the cause. East London boy, so West Ham's the club that I always want to do well.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's my club now.
Do you want to chime in on a little bit on this one, Jeff, as well?
Obviously, you went Kingsford, and then you did that shock move across the country to Wales.
Yeah.
Talk to us. How did that even come about?
How that come about?
From Newham to Wales, that's something you hear it every day. Usually it's like West Ham, Arsenal.
Yeah, do you know what? My time of coming up in football wasn't like it is now. Like in the sense of now, every Tom, Dick and Harry is at a club. Like everyone gets up a trial at this club, Arsenal, West Ham. But when I was growing up, it weren't like that. Yeah, like only if you were good was you at a club or had an opportunity to go on trial. And that's just me keeping it 100. So it wasn't easy. I went to like Reading. I was like playing for like Reading. But I wasn't even signed. Like I was at Reading for like a year, and I was playing for Reading under 15 sort of thing, and then they didn't give me a scholar. No, under 16 I think it was. Yeah, under 16 I didn't get a scholar there. So at that time I was just thinking, wow, what am I gonna do? And luckily, like one of the coaches that was there knew a scout or whatever, and then I just ended up somehow in Cardiff, like on trial. And then like they signed me. They offered me a 2-year scholar, and then I signed for them, and then I was in Wales. That was me.
Well, how was the move though? Because obviously you're used to being in Newham. How was it like transitioning to Wales? Like,
do you know what?
The surroundings, the food.
Yeah, no, it was a bit mad to be honest. To be honest, it was a bit mad because I had to live like, obviously those that know football know about digs. So I had to live in digs with like a Welsh family, and obviously like young black boy from London, moving up to like Welsh family. It was a bit mad. It was a culture shock. However, I was there to play football, so I was fine, and I get on with everyone. Do you know what I mean? I've been around different cultures, diverse people my whole life from playing football.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that hard for me to move up there, and you'd be surprised. Cardiff as a city is like London.
Yeah, it's quite lively. I've
Yeah,
heard.
it's lively. It's a good.
I've never been.
It's a good night out.
Yes, I heard it's a good night out.
Yeah, it's a good night out, and it's diverse as well. Like there's a lot of diversity up there as well, and it was good to sort of get out of London as well, because around them times there was a lot of madness happening in London around the time. So it was good to just get out, see a different way of like life and all that. But don't get twisted. They're not much different from Londoners. It's the same thing, really. Like it's not like I went to Malaysia or something like that. I was only sort of 2 or 3 hours away from home. So yeah.
And what position was you playing for them?
For them, centre back. Yeah. So centre back. So for district or whatever, I was playing centre midfield, and then. Yeah, the older you get, they push you more back and back. You know what I mean?
I can relate to that one still.
They
Yeah.
just push you back and back and back. So then, just put me at centre back, and that was where I did my thing. And I enjoyed my time there, man. I had a good time. Yeah.
So what year was it that you won Scholar of the Year? Because to win Scholar of the Year it's not easy. Not anyone gets that. Not many pros right now have won Scholar of the Year when they were playing on the 18s.
No. So. But okay, so things have changed now. I don't know if they even still do it. But it was in my second year. So what happens is in the champ, like at that level, there's like 6 players in the league, like 6 young players that they choose like to represent like the best young players or whatever. It's football ability as well as like education as well.
Okay.
So it's not just like because you're good at football, but football does play a big part in it. So I think I was like 17 at the time. So 6 players from the champ. We went to an award show, blah, 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 blah. I didn't win the actual award for everyone, but obviously I won it at my club and I was nominated to go. And 6 nominees and someone, I can't remember who won it, to be honest, but who won it? I can't even remember, to be honest, yeah.
How long was you at Cardiff for?
I was there 2 years.
2 years. Oh, so you just done...
I just did my scholar. Yeah, I just did my scholar. It was a bit strange because obviously I was like one of the best in my team, and I was expected. Everyone's thought I used to train with the first team. In fact, I stopped playing youth team football. I was just playing like with the reserves and training with the first team every day. So I'm thinking I was nailed on for a pro. Do you know what I mean? Everyone thought I was a pro already. Even the first team, I was like, but for some mad reason, they didn't give me a pro, and I don't know. Even till today, I don't actually understand. Even me being an agent, I really don't understand. But at that time, I didn't have an agent. At that time, it was just a bit mad, to be honest.
So looking back on it now and knowing what you know now, at first, obviously, as having experience as being a player and now having experience being an agent, what would your theory kind of be that the reason was? Okay,
to be honest, if I could do things again, I would have had an agent, to be honest, or I would have had some sort of guidance or voice. Like, you have to remember, those times, as I keep alluding to, was different. Everything in my whole football career was just me. Mum, dad never come. There was never
Trust me,
I'm winning. I'm doing stuff at youth level, whatever it is. Mum, dad never there, and that's no disrespect to them. Like, it's just because like maybe they didn't understand, and also it's like life is life. They've got jobs, things to do. They have to look after other kids as well. Do you know what I mean? So everything was just me. So I think if I had a voice that was speaking for me to the clubs, etc., and also was able to, if it was different, if I didn't get a pro there, could have got a pro somewhere else if you have an agent. Because they're doing that. That's what agents essentially do, innit? That's what I'd put it down to, I'd say.
But this would have been about 2006, 2007?
2000, I'm young now. 2008, 9, I think it was. Yeah.
So that would have been the time that Cardiff were pushing for promotion to the Premier, innit?
There was a good, that's when Cardiff was actually respected. Now no one knows about Cardiff or speaks about Cardiff, but at that time, there was like big players there, like Robbie Fowler was there.
Peter Whittingham
was there, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank was there. Trevor Sinclair was there. They had like
that team was heavy.
They had like some serious people there at the.
I think even Ramsey just left at that point. By then as well,
Ramsey. So me and him were in the. Me and him were the only two. The youth team played with train with the first team.
Yeah.
But he was always special. I always tell my friends, when I come back to the area, I'll be like,
Yo,
there's this
this
kid.
Fred.
He's like Gerard, like he's the coldest. I always knew he would go on and do. Well, I didn't know he'd go on and do what he did,
but
I always knew he was
special.
good. Yeah, I knew. Always thought he was good. Yeah.
So okay, after your stint at Cardiff, after your 2 years scholar at Cardiff, where did you move on to then? What was the next phase?
Do you know what? When I didn't get an additional contract there, if we're gonna call it what it called, when I got released, we'll call it what it is. I literally sort of stopped playing football.
Wow.
Like, whoa, sorry, I missed a big part. So our head of academy left, and he went to West Brom. So I went to West Brom on trial for like a week. They didn't sign me. They didn't think I was quite ready for them. And this is when I think they were in the Premier League this time. Yeah. They were like quite good.
Kieran Richardson was there, innit?
Yeah, they had some serious man there as well. But yeah, I didn't get signed there. And after that, I just stopped playing football.
Bro.
Literally, I literally just like came back to the ends. I was just playing Football Manager for like 6 months in my house. Like I was just because I didn't know no better. Like no one was. I didn't understand. Remember, I'm a kid really.
Yeah.
I didn't know the world. I didn't know like
guidance.
Yeah, I didn't really understand. Okay, you're at this level. Lowest you should drop is like maybe a league below or 2 leagues below. Yeah. I didn't know none of that. So I just came back to the ends and was just in my house.
So, can you see there's a lot of media coverage about like players being released nowadays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Would you put like your situation at the time? Would you boil that down to like maybe a bit of a thing of you're maybe feeling a bit down about obviously being released and you're like, could you pin it to like mental health or anything like that?
Do you know what? Honestly, I wouldn't even say it's mental health. Like I would never even because I feel like nowadays I'm not knocking mental health, but I feel like sometimes the
People
world
overdo it.
they overplay on that word. They overuse the word too much.
I agree on that.
They overuse the word too much. So I'm never gonna say that mine was due to that. Honestly, why I stopped playing football was because of that. I just didn't know any.
No guidance.
There was no guidance. I didn't know that. I didn't know anything. Like there was no one calling me. Like there was no agent I had that. Oh, I've got this trial for you. I've got this, or none of that. The wickedest thing is, loads of agents were trying to sign me when I was playing, but for some mad reason, in my head, I was always thinking, I don't need an agent. I don't want an agent. They're trying to steal from me. Little did I know, I'm on £90 a week. What money are they trying to steal from me? What money is there that anyone's trying to steal from me? No one's trying to steal anything, but there's just a negative perception about agents in general, and I sort of fell victim to that because any agent that approached me, well, one, they're approaching me. I'm a kid. I don't really know anything, so I'm like, nah, I'm good. They're not even trying to talk to my parents because they're never there. So there's no one that they can approach this to reason with. So yeah, I hope that sort of answers what you asked me.
Okay, so moving on from there, obviously you're back in the manor, chilling, feet up, whatever. What was the next phase and what was the next for you then? What was the next like building block to playing back and getting back into the game?
Do you know what? The next building block was randomly, and this is what I always give thanks to God, because there was a random guy who added me on Facebook, yeah? This is a mad story. I don't think I've even told anyone about this story. There was a random guy who added me on Facebook, and he messaged me and was like, do I want to play in the FA Cup against Stevenage? I think it might have been, I don't know what round. I can't remember what round. It was quite a high round. Yeah. And it was like, do I want to play for a team called Horsham in non-league? And I was like, I've never heard of Horsham. Like, I don't know where it is, but all I know is
Stevenage.
Not even Stevenage, because even Stevenage I didn't really know like that. But they were doing well, but I didn't really know. All I know is Premier League Championship. That's what I know at them times. But so anyway, he said, all I know is FA Cup. So I asked, do I want to play FA Cup? I said, yeah. Is it free or like I'll play? Do I get paid or is it free or whatever? He was like, nah, you get paid. Blah blah. So I'm thinking, happy days. I'm just sitting in my house anyway. So yeah, why not? So like I've gone there now, and my first game was in the FA Cup. I think I was like 18 or something. I was quite young, like 18 or something. And then do you remember a player called Steve Morrison? Does anyone remember that one? Millwall striker. Yeah. So he was at Stevenage them times, and he was like at the time dubbed as like how Vardy was respected at them times because he was hot property. But man pocketed him quickly. I thought, I'm going Prem now. One game, going Prem. Doesn't work like that. No, so I ended up signing for Horsham in the Ryman Prem at the time. And obviously...
Blue Square, innit? Them times.
Them times, it's Ryman Prem is...
Blue Square would have been conference them times.
Yeah.
So that would have been conference.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
that would have been conference them times. So I think it was 2 leagues below that. But I didn't know what any of it meant. I just knew non-league. I thought it was all the same thing.
Yeah.
Not knowing how low I've gone from like champ to that level. But of course, like I was grateful for the opportunity. I ended up staying there for like a year and a half. And then I moved to like a higher non-league team when I started to understand what it was. And then, that was my sort of like, that was how I ended up in non-league, and that's where I ended up staying, to be honest.
But it seems like you've had a decent career in non-league. It seems like you've had a better career in non-league than a lot of people have in like League One, League Twos. Oh, so I'm talking about your success.
No,
promotions.
No, I know what you mean.
Trophies, the medals.
Yeah. No, in terms of non-league, I'll never knock non-league, and I always give respect to non-league because, like, I stopped playing football when I was 28. That was by choice. And until then, I lived off football until I was 28. And not many people can say that. Like,
but before we get there to the 28, this is why you're famous then at Ebbsfleet. But I think that's one of your best football stints.
No, I don't even think it was, you know. I think...
I used to, for those that know, before I retired, I used to play for Ebbsfleet.
Yeah. That's how we actually know.
I used to always trouble and, 11v11.
Oh,
I didn't even know
11v11.
Not that kind of trouble.
He didn't want to meet me on the pitch.
This guy was troublesome anyway. Like, like the youth team, one of the man that the first team always like, know who he is.
Yeah.
That was
the loud one.
The loud one.
The loud one, yeah. Really
the loud one.
Main
oh,
character
my days.
syndrome.
And if we ever played them in training or whatever, the loud one. This guy there. But love him for it because how he is now is how he was then. He ain't changed up for no one. He's always been the same person. And love him for that. Before I went to Ebbsfleet, I've probably my most successful was at Welling where we won the league.
Oh,
so we won the Conference South at the time to get promoted to the Conference Prem. Then I left Welling and went to Barnet.
Okay.
That was when Davids was there.
So
Edgar Davids was the manager. So I was thinking like Barnet's a big club, blah blah blah. Let me try and go there. On the peripheral
of getting into League Two and that.
Exactly. I was thinking all those sorts of things. But again,
new training ground.
Yeah, everything looks nice. Everything's all great. But for me, it wasn't really. I probably should have, in hindsight, stayed at Welling.
But how was it with Edgar Davids though? Like, how was it between you and him?
What do you mean?
That relationship obviously was.
What was the relationship?
Because we know that Davids is a controversial
character.
Yeah.
No, do you know what? A lot of people, I've seen a lot of people talk about how he was at Barnet or how he was as. For me personally, I kind of understand why he was like he was a bit big time, but he's rightfully so. Rightfully so, though. Look what he's done in the game. He's won a lot of things. He is a household name. Do you understand? So he has the right to be like that. I never understand the people that have done nothing that think that they can even chat to him or talk down upon the problem he had was that he couldn't understand the different levels of ability. From coming from like the great level that he's at, he can't understand that you're not coming to them levels. Us man can't do what you can do. So like when it was training, he's thinking, why can't you, man, do this? Or why can't you as a player do this?
Yeah.
And we're just thinking, because we can't. But he's thinking, you should be able to do that. And also, he didn't understand the level of professionalism. Because you have to remember, to get to the top, it's not Mickey Mouse. They live it, breathe it. Every single thing is done on point. Disciplined.
Yeah.
Where non-league is not disciplined. Or like lower level is not as disciplined. Or there's always a reason. Like there's a reason why you see players at the top and there's a reason why you see players down below.
But he couldn't tell the difference between that, right?
I think he struggled with that.
Do you reckon it was more a culture thing or was it?
Also a culture thing as well. You remember, he's Dutch. So like over there, is different as well. Like
they really breathe.
They really breathe it. Like from young.
They sleep with it.
Yeah, they're really like technically advanced.
Yeah,
and not just technically advanced, they're tactically advanced. Where he taught me stuff when I went to Barnet, and because I didn't know half the stuff he was talking about, but as me went into coaching, I did my badges, as me understanding the game, like I knew, these guys, they were there for a reason. They were just advanced, and he wasn't the level. He shouldn't have been at the level. That's why he struggled.
Okay.
And then where did you go after Barnet? Where did you go?
That's when I ended up at Ebbsfleet.
So you joined FC when the money landed.
Yeah. I'll end up, but I did. But to be honest, if I'm keeping it 100, like everyone that knows me, I was never really a money
chaser.
Yeah, a money chaser.
It just fell into your lap.
Not really. You know,
listen, you came when the new owner, the guy from what country was it? Kuwait.
I don't know what, but he had He had oil money. He had a lot of money.
He had oil money.
So basically, for those that don't understand or won't know, Ebbsfleet at that time was taken over by like a really wealthy owner, like really wealthy, and he pumped in a lot of money at that time. So he was buying players from teams like to make Ebbsfleet like good.
Name some of the big players.
No, but no one will know them. You understand? They won't really know.
Aaron McLean.
Yeah, but that was sort of a little bit later. But so yeah, there was big players essentially, but I mean like the names, people ain't really gonna know them.
Charlie Sheringham, people know that name.
Yeah, they'll know. I was with him today, to be fair. Charlie's, I was with him today, yeah. But no, so basically what he did was at the level, they tried to buy the best at the level. Yeah. And then
so they could jump up.
Yeah,
of course.
It didn't naturally work out that way. But definitely a great club, good people, and wish them all the success. Yeah.
And after that, you shipped over across the water.
Where did I go after that?
You went to Dulwich to another. You want another promotion, right?
Oh yeah. So I went to Dulwich. Oh wait, no. Do you know what? No, I didn't. You know.
Yeah, he's like Dulwich in Preston.
No. Do you know what happened? No. So with Ebbsfleet, we lost in the playoff final, like to go to what league would it have been? I think it was Conference Prem. Yeah. So I think we lost to Maidstone, and then I ended up joining Maidstone. So we lost.
That's later. We first lost to Dover. Remember when?
Sorry,
you're right. That header.
You're right.
That header was painful.
He'll probably see this and be happy. Like you mentioned his name.
That header was painful.
Don't mind him. Yeah. Actually, I forgot about that. Yeah. So we lost in the playoff final to them. I remember that actually. And then I think the second season or whenever it was, we lost in the playoff final again to Maidstone. So after that season, I left Ebbsfleet and joined Maidstone. So then I went to the Conference Prem as they got promoted. So I was there again.
Join the rivals. Sol Campbell, basically.
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, like that. Do you know what it was? No, because, man, I can't remember why I did it, but again, you wanted to play at the highest level as possible. And it was an opportunity as well. Ebbsfleet at the time were going in a different direction. And they got success when I left anyway. They had success when I left. I think they got promoted anyway.
Straight after.
They got success, like, probably that was the reason.
He pumped the players that came in. It was crazy.
Yeah, they pumped a lot of money.
League One player. We're talking about League One seasons.
Yeah.
Good age 32, 33s. Like Danny Kedwell came in.
Yeah, he was there when he was there. So that team that basically lost in the playoff final, essentially the manager kept them. He kept that same team and sort of built, made some additions to them, and then they got promoted. I don't think it was the direct season after. It was the season after that they got promoted.
Yeah, guys like McQueen playing.
Aaron McLean was proper winger as well, boy.
Aaron McLean, yeah. I think, Danny Kedwell, he was a big name at that. So you have to remember, like, for the kids that are watching this, they probably won't know who these players are, innit? Like, they won't know, but essentially the way to see it, or the way to think about it is, like, they got the best around that level to play in one team to get promotion.
And if you want to look at it from a more modern era, you look at the things of what, what's the team owned by the Hollywood owners? Wrexham are doing.
Exactly that.
And what Salford City did with Gary Neville and Duran Giggs.
The holidays
exactly.
Them all going to Dubai. We were just there watching the snaps, angry.
Yeah. So what he did, the owner, big up the owner, man, because like we lost in the playoff final. I think my first season, or like I think I joined in Jan. We lost in player final, and he flew us out to Dubai like the next day.
Next day,
and paid the whole trip. Gave us money to like
do your thing,
do us like go out. Yeah. We're all thinking we just lost. Now big up the owner. I don't even remember his name, but yeah, he done his thing.
Boy, by the sounds of it, if you look we're going Vegas, boy.
No, that's true. if we won, we're going Vegas. That's no joke. That's actually true.
The bar was just the warning.
The bar was like the sad part. We would have gone Vegas if we won. So it was a bit mad. Funny though. Funny, good times.
So after that stint, then when did England C come calling?
England C was before that.
Okay.
Yeah, so England C was at Welling.
Okay.
So when we won the league at Welling, so I won the league at Welling, the Conference South, was when I got called up to England C. And that England C team has to probably be
one of the best ever.
Probably the best. Like, because in that team was a lot of players that went on and played like
that's very true,
Prem, League, like loads of players.
Like who?
Andre Gray was in that team.
Oh, right.
Andre Gray was in that team. A guy called Sam Klukas. I don't know if you know that.
Is the whole city.
He
tall
played
ginger.
Him. Anthony Sarcevic. Don't know if you guys know who he is, but he top player. Anyone that knows. Yeah, he was cold. James Norwood, top player as well. He plays for, I don't know who he plays for now. I think he's either League One or Champ. I can't remember. Anthony Cook. So basically, I'm naming players that all played solid league careers.
Yeah.
Loads of them. Basically the whole team.
Wow.
Like, the whole team, apart from me.
So what you're trying to say? See, like the England C. Like, obviously, for the youngsters watching, let's say like a kid at Millwall probably gets released.
Yeah.
Ends up at, let's say, Maidstone or Dulwich.
Yeah.
And he's doing this thing. There's still a chance for him basically because England C is another. It's a platform. It's a platform to showcase your talent.
Yeah, exactly. It's a platform. So England C is the best players in non-league under the age of 23. So they put the best players for what they believe are the best players into a team to represent England. And we played against Bermuda. Our game was against Bermuda. We beat them 5-1.
Wow.
But they had, I don't know if you know a player called Naki Wells.
Naki Wells, I know Naki Wells.
Yeah, he played for them.
Which team is that? Bradford?
But no, he was at like Huddersfield. Yeah. They had some other players, but he was the one that, everyone knows of. So yeah, no, that's a good platform. So anyone that is in non-league, definitely try and be open to going to England C. It's a platform and you can kick on from there.
So during your playing career, then would you say that those England C players are the best, well, probably some of the best 5 players you played with in your footballing career?
Yes or no, because like at a young age, in my youth teams or in the academy, there was like good players that we played with as well. So obviously, I would say Aaron Ramsey was the best and that's probably the one that everyone knows about.
That stands out,
one stands out. Played with Gylfi Sigurdsson at Reading. This is when they bought him from like Iceland for like, but he was always special. Like Gylfi was always good. Who else did I think is cold?
Would Mikel Antonio have been there roughly around that same time as well at Reading? Or was that just before?
He's probably, I don't know, but he might have been first team. No, he wasn't there. He wasn't at Reading when I was there.
Okay.
He wasn't there. So I was youth team, obviously. That first team, that year was when they got promoted to the Premier League.
Okay.
So that's when they had like the record points in the champ, like 105.
Yeah, I remember.
Their team was mad.
Yeah.
They had
Joby McAnuff and all them lot.
Joby weren't there at the time, but they had like Leroy Lita,
Jason Roberts.
He
weren't there.
Wasn't he?
Dave Kitson.
Dave Kitson, yeah.
Doyle, the striker. Kevin Doyle.
Kevin Doyle, that's it. Kevin Doyle,
Ibrahim Sonko. Graham Stack was there.
Was one of my uncles there? BK, was he there that season?
Is that your uncle? Because he's from the same country.
Was he there that season?
Hey, is your uncle?
Was he there that season?
He weren't there.
Paul McShane as well, no?
Paul McShane came after. He came after. Nicky Shorey, I know Nicky. Their team was serious. They survived in the Premier League. Steve Sidwell was there.
Steve Sidwell,
They were serious. Like their team was good. I'm not saying I was in that team. I was youth team. Yeah, that was. But they was around, didn't it? Like I was, players, yeah. But to be fair, there was a lot of young players that came through. Like, as I said, Gilfie came through, Jem Carrican, Alex Pearce. These names people may not know, but they had solid careers, like football careers. They did. Hal Robson-Kanu, solid careers. These guys, solid, respected careers. Yeah.
You named us Sigurdsson and Ramsey. Who else?
That I think was good.
Yeah, 3 more.
Your top 5.
Top 5. Listen, there's a player that obviously Andre Gray. I put him up there because obviously people know who he is.
Andre Gray.
Solid. There's a player that you guys may not know. I mentioned him before. His name's Anthony Sarcevic. I promise you now, anyone that's played with him knows that he's top. I look after him now. I'm his agent at the moment, so he gave me the opportunity to actually look after his career. And if I had him when he was younger, like if I was doing what I was doing now,
a bit earlier,
everyone would know who he is and what, because he's top. And I'm sure anyone that's played with him or knows about him can vouch for what I'm saying. Like the guy's a midfielder, he's top, like he'd be top goal scorer. He's won so many promotions from like League 2, League 1. Like he's a really good player, and so for him, I always put him up there as a top player. Who else? There's loads, man, but I don't just want to name the ones that people know.
Remember, you want to actually.
I want to name the ones that you may not know, but I believe they were top. So it's kind of.
Who's that 5th one then?
Do you know who I'd say? None of you will know who he is. His name's Joe Healy. But anyone that
that name rings a
not
bell.
non-league or anyone that knows him or played with him will agree with what I'm saying. He didn't care about football. He was so good. I think he might have been. Wait, he scored. If you Google it, he might have. I think he played for Millwall or something. Like he scored.
So that name does ring a bell though.
Trust me, he's a serious player. Serious player. Yeah. So it's not just about like ability, man. A lot of factors come into it.
What would be your most memorable moments from your playing career then, both on and off the pitch? If you could minimize it and just like keep it short.
Yeah.
Off top of your head, of course, it's a tough one, and it's a tough question.
Yeah, it's a mad tough question.
Scoring a pen for Dulwich.
No, do you know what? I think I scored on TV for Barnet. That was quite good because people saw that.
Oh, that went everywhere too.
Yeah, people scored that. I scored on BT Sport. That was quite cool. And another memorable moment. A proud moment for me was that Scholar of the Year thing. Like I was young. It was quite a big thing for me. Obviously, like it didn't really work out at the club, but I was proud of what I did there. Yeah. That's about it, really. Okay,
so the transition from being a player to a football agent, what made you go for that career choice? What was the factors into that all?
And at what age?
What age?
Because you did something where everyone. Oh, like when you posted on Instagram, I said, "Huh, is this guy all right?"
Yeah, I stopped playing football at 28. Like 28, I can still play now. I'll be honest. I think I could. I personally think I could. Not like high level, but I could easily play like maybe Con South or Con Prem or whatever.
That is high. That is still high.
Fair. Okay, I reckon I could, to be honest. But what made me change career was I've always been someone that thinks about the future. I've always been someone that thinks about like longevity and I know that football is not a long career. Like as a footballer, you're maxing out if you're lucky at 35, and some are fortunate to earn a lot of money to be able to live off what they've made. I was not in that position at all, so I was basically playing to survive, and that's never a good thing, in my humble opinion. So I just thought, okay, this is something, if I make the transition into this career, I can actually have a career which I can do, or a job that I can do for my whole life.
Whole life, yeah.
Your lifespan, they say like it's 80 years old or whatever, of God willing, I live longer than that. But, so I wanted to do something where if I start younger, then...
Set yourself up.
Yeah, set myself up. And also another thing was that at that age, people can quickly, you lose relevance, like really quickly. Like the people you play with or the people that you know in the game, they leave the game and then no one knows who you are. So like, for example, like people watching this, they won't know who I am. They won't know nothing about me or anything as a football player or as a non-league player or whatever, and they may not even respect it. So you have to basically think about the future and know that it's not going to last forever. So I knew that my relevance is sort of running out. So let me just try and go into a career where I can actually make something of myself, provide for my family, and try and make a change and try and make an impact on the game.
So what was it like getting your license then for an agent? Like, what was the process like? How did you go about it?
So it's recently changed. Before, what they did was you could just pay money and then you're an agent. Boom. Pay
I heard it was like 30 grand or something like that.
No, way less than that. You pay £600 and then you're what they call as an intermediary.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the new term they call it now.
That's what they called it. But of this year, FIFA changed the law and they brought in regulations where you have to be licensed. And what that means is you have to take an exam. Mm-hmm. And if you only pass that exam, then you're eligible to become an agent.
That exam is tough though.
Many people failed that exam. And you'll see, because this job, everyone thinks they can do it. Like, you see so many people, my dad's my agent, my brother's my agent, my friend's my agent, that's my agent. But what qualifies you to really be an agent? Like, do you know the industry? Just because you know football doesn't mean you're going to be a good agent. Do you have a network? Do you know numbers? Do you understand contracts? Why are you good enough to be an agent? So I think the test is actually quite good because it
weeds out.
It weeds out. Although they will always be in the game. Like, people that don't understand what they're doing, they just think they could be an agent. But I think it's a good thing. So anyway, you have to take an exam and then you have to pass the exam and then you can be qualified to be an agent.
So give us an insight about your roster. Obviously, we're not going to mention names, but the clubs you're currently working with.
Okay. So I work with a lot of young players. Because as a company, our company, CMG Sports, is who I work for and who I work with. Our target is working with young talent and growing with that talent. Players at Chelsea, Arsenal, all over the place, if I'm honest with you. United, like all over the place. Mainly Cat 1s is what our target is, but there are top players in Cat 2 and Cat 3 that we will work with and try and push up.
It's a good thing that you mentioned young talent, because there's a lot of reputation about agents. Yeah. Especially nowadays.
Yeah.
About how do we know the dodgy agents and the legit agents?
How do you know the difference?
How can we spot out? Because obviously an agent can come up to my little cousin in a Range Rover SVR.
Yeah.
100 grand, Richard Millie Roch.
Yeah.
And says, bring your nephew to me, my cousin. I'll get him signed for Chelsea, Arsenal. And then you come on a normal, humble, your jacket, nothing flashy. How do you
distinguish? I'll be honest with you, it's hard, man. Like, it's actually very difficult, and that's why there's so many frauds in the game, like right now. So it's actually quite sad because...
What do you mean by fraud? What exactly are they?
What I call a fraud is someone that doesn't have a clue about what an agent does or have any network to do anything or add any value to you, but they might have money, and that basically makes you believe that they're a good agent. Not even just that, there may be some agents that work for companies with rosters of like bigger players, and you may think because they work with that company, they can then help my son or my daughter or whatever reach those levels. It does not work like that.
So for example, if I've got Ronaldo on my roster and Joey has, let's say, Diego Dallo on his roster.
You try to say,
but because I've got Ronaldo,
yeah,
a lot of kids will learn more towards me because I've got Ronaldo. But he's got Dallo, but he's got better quality in his roster.
Right now, you're disrespecting Dallo or what he's doing.
No,
let me give you a better example. Let me give you a better context. Let's talk about let's do it like this. You have Ronaldo as your client, yeah? Me, I have Tommy, who plays in League 2. On surface level, straight away, parent will believe that you're a better agent than me because of who I have on my roster. but it shouldn't. That's not what dictates what's a better agent and whatever, and what's a good agent, what's not. What determines what's a good agent and what's not is every single player and every case is different. Everyone's career is different. So, for example, if you have Ronaldo, let's say, for example, if you have Ronaldo and you're operating at that level where you're talking to clubs that are in and around Ronaldo's level, you need players that are in and around Ronaldo's level. Dealing with a young kid who's coming up, who may need more constant care, who may need like you guiding them through the game, speaking to them about their games, or it's different strokes for different folks. So although you have Ronaldo, it doesn't mean that you're a better agent than this guy who's got Tommy. It just depends on what that agent can do for you, because everyone's career is different and everyone needs different things.
Yeah.
You understand? And another thing is like a lot of so-called agents, for example, they will work for companies with big names, like big people on their roster, and they'll say, you should sign with me because we've got this guy. But having this guy is not going to help little Joey who's trying to have a career, because that player and little Joey need different things.
Exactly.
So it's all about, and it's what I was trying to explain to parents, it's all about the individual. It's about who you prefer and who you want to work with as an individual. They need to have a network. Every agent, a good agent has a good network, and they need to know what they're talking about.
How do we know your network?
You got to put something to the test, you know. Like I encourage parents.
For example, like for example, I know that, okay, cool, I can go on Google, type in your name. I'll see pages, I'll see articles.
How do you know? No, a network isn't what the player has done in their career. Forget anything anyone's ever done as a footballer.
No, I'm talking about as an agent.
As an agent.
As an agent itself.
Again, the network for that is hard for anyone to actually search. I'll be real with you. But they can put it to the test. They could basically be like, all right, who do you know at this club? And then the agent will be able to show you and prove to you that they know this person. They could be able to call up whoever they say they can call up. They can call up and call them up and have that conversation. If you're saying, I know this club, I know that club, all right, show me them. Call them, see what's it, and verify it.
It's funny they said that, because talking about the articles, there was a famous article that went around, like, I think globally.
Okay.
You was in Ghana for a while and you brought a kid over.
That's it, globally. Nah, man, it's not that big, man.
We know that you're very humble, but sometimes you have to be honest. It went global.
What you're talking about is that,
and you brought a kid over.
Yeah,
15, 16.
Nah, so no. What we did was, I went to Ghana last year. I went to Ghana last year, and I saw a player who I thought was good, right? And I knew that he has potential, like. And he's not even just, his statistics were very good anyway. He was playing first team for his team in the Ghanaian Premier League, and he warranted playing in Europe. In my opinion, I thought he was very good when I watched him. And so essentially, I spoke to people that I know over here. He got a trial at Chelsea. So after
straight from Ghana.
Yeah, straight from Ghana. So he got a trial at Chelsea. After Chelsea, we're actually moving him around to get to different clubs. So he went into Bayern Leverkusen.
Wow.
And you don't just do this.
Yeah.
Like a kid from Ghana, like it's not normal. But again, that's network. That's network. And then he went to Barcelona. So he's gone Chelsea, Leverkusen, Barcelona.
Wow.
Not if you're any agent, you can't just
go
that.
Get them kind of things. Yeah.
But no disrespect to the player, he is very good as well. His talent also allows him to do that, but you need to have the
right connections,
the connections
get him through the door. Of course.
So obviously we don't know where we're gonna actually settle and stay with him, but at least what he's been able to achieve so far, being even to go to these sort of places, has now opened a door for other people from Ghana to then go on these sort of trials and people to recognize the talent that's there, because there's a lot of talent.
But saying that, so now this is where it comes a bit. We're talking business now.
Yeah,
you've got the network to take him. Chelsea, Bayern Leverkusen, Barca. What are you trying to say? Sometimes as a footballer and in the business world, is it just 100% ability, or is it sometimes who you know?
It's both.
It's definitely both.
Would you say 50-50? Would you say with how football's going now?
It's hard to put a percentage on it.
You would say who you know.
I'd say this. as an agent, you're only as good as your client. So, for example, if you have a client that can't kick a ball, you're never going to take him Man United because he's not good enough.
Because we see some shaky footballers in the Prem.
Yeah, but the ones you're saying they're shaky.
We're not gonna mention names.
No, but you're disrespecting them because like I always talk to the random about this.
When we say shaky, what's saying I'm talking from a fan point of view.
Alright, tell me who's shaky then? So name what you're saying.
Here we go. Mention names?
Yeah, name names.
I'm a United fan.
Yeah, who's shaky?
I'm a United fan, yeah. And the way I see football now, no disrespect to
who's shaky?
No disrespect, yeah.
Who's shaky?
No disrespect to
Go on.
Landry, I'm sorry, but I have to mention his name, yeah?
Who?
Wan-Bissaka, for example.
Nah.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Yes, he's a good defender, slide tackling, whatever.
Yeah.
But what's going as a footballer of 2024, did that really get him to United, or is it he's got a good backing? But let's be honest, in this day and age,
he got to Man United on his own merit.
Yeah, for sure.
He statistically, when he got before, he was like, I think it was like the top tackling defender. No one was beating him in duels 1v1. Wan-Bissaka is disrespected. Like, I wouldn't say any Premier League player is a bad player.
No, they can't be.
They can't be.
Technically, they can't.
None of them.
Possible.
I'd never say he's a bad player. But you could say that you prefer this type of player. Like, for example, you could prefer Trent. But you can't say, well, you can. It's your opinion. But
Wan-Bissaka's a better defender than Trent.
For me, I wouldn't say that someone like him is a bad player.
No, I want to say, no, he's not a bad footballer. I'm just saying, I'm talking about modern. See, because obviously he's good at slide tackling. He's a very good defender.
He's on a technical level.
I'm talking about a technical level as a footballer of this day and age. Yeah. I know nowadays it's more what you can do with the ball in your feet more than...
It's personal preference, isn't it? At the
end of the
football's
day. Changing,
you may not like him as a player, but there's some manager that likes him as a player. There's someone that will like him as a player. And it's like, a lot of people must have liked him as a player for him to move for, I think it's 50 mil or something like that.
50 million is big money.
You don't spend 50 mil on a bad player. Well, you might do, but it's very...
No, he's not a bad player.
Rare.
I'm just talking about footballing with the ball at your feet.
So what's your question to me? What is your question? Does he go on merit or does he go with who he knows? My answer to that is both.
So you're trying to say it's more 50-50?
I won't say it's more 50-50. I'd say it's both. There's both factors.
I reckon the fee more plays on Palace's side.
Yeah,
Palace's side.
A lot of things happen. A transfer, a lot of things go into a transfer. It's not just like, we like this player, we're going to buy him. They watch the player for ages.
Extensively,
They do reports on the player. And then they have to get yeses from the right people. Not just one man says yes and it's done. So a transfer, there's a process to it. But people that don't understand, just think it's simple as, we like him, we're going to spend this money, we're going to buy him.
So let's say Arsenal want to sign Amazi then. Yeah. Let's say 100 million.
100 mil.
Who did they contact first?
Yeah, what would the agent's role be within that? Because I don't think we delved into that part of it.
Okay. So say they wanted to sign him for 100 mil, yeah?
Yeah.
Let me just go all the way back what I think they would do.
Yeah, okay.
So obviously there are loads of reports. So internally, everyone at the scouting system will be like, yes, he does this, he will benefit us, Like they have to present it to like a group of people and then they'll all green light it. So once they've all green lighted it, cool. Then the club will get in touch with the agent.
Which will be you.
God willing. If I mean 100 mil, why not? And they get in touch and be like, we're interested in blah, blah, blah. Would he be interested to come? Essentially, yeah? So then that's the part on paper that an agent plays is speaking on behalf of the player. So then you would be finding out, would he first be interested to come? That's the first thing clubs want to know. Would he be interested to come? Roughly, what do you think it would cost? So then once they have all that information, then they go to the club and then they negotiate the fees and blah, 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 blah. Once the fees are, because agents, I remember my friend actually fought and said to me that agents or players, say for example, a player goes for 100 mil, they think the player gets 10 mil.
10%.
10%. No, that's not real. Whatever the fee is, that goes to the club. Whatever, if the player gets the signing on bonus, that's something that's negotiated and agreed by the agent and the player. It's not mandatory. So like when Gareth Bale went to Madrid or whatever,
85.
Loads of people were calling me, asking me, "Wow, so what? Gareth Bale gets 8 mil, or the agent gets?" And I'm like, no, it don't work like that. It don't work like. I wish I was, but yeah, just basically. So I hope that you understand. So they'll contact the agent to find out if the player wants to come. The agent will then speak to the player, blah 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 blah. Then there'll be like personal terms, see sort of what the player would want, how much it's going to cost, how much the package will cost the club. Cool. If they're agreeing like that, then they'll approach the club in question, and then it's up to the club if they accept the fee. The agent don't play no part in that. Because if they own the player, if they don't want to sell the player, they don't want to sell the player. The agent can't do nothing. You can try and use other things to appease it and negotiate and broker, but at the end of the day, if the club do not want to sell, the player is not moving.
So you see, between, for example, yourself as an agent and the player itself, what do you guys negotiate in regards to your what you get out of it and whatnot? How does that part side of things work?
Okay, so you're talking about separately from
the transfer, and then obviously you as representative, you lot agree to a certain percentage that you get for obviously brokering the situation.
It's not just like any you can agree any number. There's actually a cap.
Okay.
So like traditionally 10% is the maximum, and that's of the player's salary.
Sign-on bonus.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, salary. Okay. Yeah, salary of what you can actually charge. Yeah, but the industry standard is 5%.
Okay.
So with these new regulation, what they tried to do recently, they tried to cap it at like 6%. They tried to say the maximum you get 6%, 3%, but they fought it in courts and they lost. So now like it's back to what it was before. So the maximum 10%, industry standard 5%, and yeah. So that's how. And then once you agree that, then you sign the player and then you represent them. So essentially an agent is like a marketing tool for a player. Essentially, you've got to basically be speaking to clubs, letting them know what your player's doing if they don't know already. And you know what your player wants. You know. Another thing is, it's good to know who your client is, because, for example, let's say, for example, you're a London boy. Let's just use this example. You're a London boy and Newcastle want you. But you know your client will be homesick. Like if he goes up to Newcastle and you know that probably won't necessarily be the best option for him, why are you going to then just let him go Newcastle? It ain't going to work. So that's why you have to know your client, know what their needs are. This guy's firing shots at a lot of people. But yeah, listen, that I can't comment now. I don't know nothing about that, to be honest.
What advice would you give young athletes or young footballers, obviously, who want to pursue a career after they've maybe playing football, if it doesn't work out for them, and they want to go into, like, for example, coaching or becoming a football agent? What advice would you give to them kind of young aspiring footballers or people? Yeah,
I think in anything you want to do, whether it be football, agency, cleaner, whatever industry or whatever you want to do it to your best ability. So like if you want to be a footballer, dedicate yourself to it, have discipline and work hard. Like it's not just going to come. You have to work for it, and because everyone wants your spot, essentially. So I have the same advice for everyone. If you want to be an agent, dedicate to the craft, understand, learn, like read, like know what you're doing, network, like meet the right people, conduct yourself the right way, and move properly. So my main thing is discipline and dedication to your craft, whatever it is. Okay.
Can we use some quick fire questions to end the show?
Yeah, cool.
More of a light-hearted thing. So Jeff, you
go.
can chime in on a couple as well.
These one-liners are gonna come now.
First and foremost, I think we start off easy. Ronaldo or Messi?
Messi.
Oh, okay.
Be honest with this question though. I'm being dead serious.
Go on.
You or Gabriel Mangala Heiss from Arsenal? Just be honest, as a defender, who do you think?
What you say? What do you say?
You or Gabriel Mangala Heiss? That Brazilian centre back. Are you better than him?
Me?
Yeah. In your playing days, are you better than him?
No shots.
Why are you saying no though?
Because he's top.
Fair enough.
Me or Gabriel, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What did you call him?
Mangala Heiss, isn't that his name?
I don't know. But no, he's top, you know.
Fair enough.
He's good, man. Like, why you don't rate him?
No, I didn't say that. So I've seen you play and I've seen him play.
It's flattering me, man. No chat. Yeah, Gabriel all day.
Another one we've had recently in our sports show as well is France '98 or France 2018.
Who would win?
who would you go for? Like, who would you prefer? Jeff would say who's the best. Jeff would say who was the best.
Who was the best?
Who's the best team?
Yeah.
I would say 98. However, you can't knock the recent crop because what they did, and like it's hard to compare generations, isn't it? Like because another thing, this is off topic, but I think people like Rio Ferdinand disrespected.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
He was the way people are talking about Virgil. Rio was that. Like in my humble opinion, but
better.
It gets lost in the sauce right now.
Yeah. So because you're centre back,
so it's hard to compare generations. Is my point. So to answer your question, I'll pick 98, but I can't take away from.
Talking about generations, do you prefer old school defending or the new school defending as of now?
It's got to be old school.
For football, it's like entertainment, I can understand the new school because they're playing out from the back, blah, blah, blah. You're asking me what I prefer. In what sense, though?
So who, like, I could compare Real or Virgil, for example.
I would always go old school because that's what I grew up watching. You get what I'm saying? So I always say them. I think but football's different then. It's like hard to compare because football's completely.
What would you prefer playing? Different. Would you prefer playing now?
I prefer playing now because it's easier.
Easier, yeah, for sure.
Way easier.
But back then was much more fun.
Back then was way harder, in my opinion. Like it's physically like all mad and all of that. Like
but nowadays it's a bit more easier.
Now it's like you can't for attackers. They can't even get tackled like that. Back then, nah, man. It was serious. I think anyway.
Phil Foden or Bukayo Saka?
Saka, man. But I rate Foden, but Saka, I like Saka. You know what's mad? You're asking me questions that, like, me and my friend, like, we talk about Will, like, me and him go back and forth on this. Saka, man, I'm going to go for Saka.
Who's the best keeper in the Prem?
Best keeper?
Yeah. In the Prem. I'm just talking about Champions League in the Prem.
Alisson.
Yeah.
Okay, excluding Alisson. Who's there?
Excluding Alisson?
Yeah, excluding Alisson.
Keeper? What, you want me to say Onana?
No, that's what you wanted. That's what you wanted.
Say that. I ain't going to say Onana. I do rate Onana, but I think as he's come, he just messed himself up a little bit. I'd probably say Nick Pope.
Do you know, a lot of people were saying that, you know. They're giving him a flower at the moment.
Actually, he came to Welling, to be fair. He came on loan there. Yeah.
Wait, was that Charlton?
Yeah, he went from Charlton. He's good, man. But he needs to improve.
It was technically
with his feet.
Yeah.
But who am I to say that? He's a top keeper.
Do you want to give him two more, Jeff?
Mbappe or Haaland?
Oh, that's a good one.
Great question.
It's a good one.
I'll go Haaland.
What?
Do
you know what? I'm not mad at that at all, you know. Yeah, tell us why.
Why I'm saying that, yeah, is because like Haaland, I feel like he's fast. People don't like he's rapid, you know.
People don't see this, yeah.
He's rapid and he's like a mobile target man. So you could probably play him in more systems. Where Mbappe is rapid. And if you put a low block up against that,
it's tried and tested and is executed.
No, of course, but I think Haaland. I just prefer Haaland.
But as a footballer, Haaland's not a footballer though.
He is a footballer.
He takes 9 touches and he scores like 6 goals.
That's just because.
My argument of Joey is that I say that Haaland isn't the link-up person as we all think.
But again, it depends what you want.
Yeah, Haaland's more. He's like Van Nistelrooy.
Okay.
Because he's in the box, he scores.
No, but it depends what you want.
He can run in behind. He's done it for Dortmund.
He can do that.
Yeah.
Like, but they're both great players. But if you're asking me who I prefer, Haaland. But we can do this all day.
But Mbappe's done at the highest stages of all, multiple times.
Pick up Mbappe.
I got one more for you,
Yeah.
Harry Kane or Alan Shearer?
Again, hard to compare generations, man. But for me, I'd probably say Kane.
Kane.
But what do you say?
You don't like that one. That's why I did it, because I know you don't like that one.
You don't like that one? Okay, ask me about players today. So, like, for example, younger audience can be like...
Cool.
Quick one. Reece James or Trent?
Tough, man. man.
I know it's hard. I know why I asked you that question.
That's hard.
You
know what?
That's a good one as well, to be fair, though.
Because I'm a fantasy football man.
No. No. Don't use that as an excuse. No, not fantasy.
Go on,
Reece James or Trent.
Who I'd rather have in my team.
Ooh.
Yeah. Don't be scared.
Hard,
it's cool.
I can't lie. I'm gonna say.
It's tough still.
That's tough, man.
Tough.
But I'm gonna say Trent because of fantasy football only. But if you're asking me who I'd rather in my team, I'll probably say Reece James. So it's a bit mad.
Cool. Last one, I promise, is the last one. Because this is one that me and Jeff have been going back and forth about for a while. Harry Kane or Ciro Immobile?
Harry Kane.
Thank you. Great way to...
Wait. I can only say that because I don't even watch Immobile.
Thank you.
So I don't know what he's on.
Thank you.
He's
on the same. No, I don't watch him, but the numbers are there.
The numbers like this. The numbers...
How you gonna...
But they don't watch Kane either.
Who don't watch Kane?
Immobile, whatever his name is.
Yeah, but who's the argument? Who's arguing? Who you arguing against?
Him.
Me.
What? So you're saying Immobile?
No, I'm saying
saying
Kane.
Immobile.
He's saying Immobile.
Yeah, but how you arguing Immobile if you don't watch him?
I don't need to watch him. The internet's there.
I think that wraps up the show perfectly. First and foremost, Anthony, thank you for coming on.
Nah, thanks for having me on, man. It's a
Thank you
pleasure.
for obviously telling your story as well as educating the audience on life of being an agent and what it kind of entails. Because obviously it gets a bad rep and people don't understand the intricacies of it. So it's good to hear your side of things and hear you like break it down for us as well.
Yeah.
Where can the people find you, and have you got any projects lined up or coming up at any point?
Where people can find me, Instagram. You can find me on Instagram. I'm sure you guys can put my ad up on Instagram. Company that I represent is CMG Sports. Again on Instagram. And I'm a normal guy exactly like you. Do you know what I mean? We're all together in the same thing. And the last thing I'll do, I want to big up people that are doing really well in the game. Ola, pretty sure he's another newham guy, agent, doing extremely well. Someone I really respect, and just keep doing these things as well. Yeah, so, yeah.
I respect that.
Thank you. Great way to wrap up. Great show.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. That's been the BV Sports Show. I've been Joey, the infamous Don P. As always, like, comment, subscribe, as I said before. We're going to have more interviews like this coming up as well, so stay tuned for all of that. Thank you again to Anthony Acheampong for coming down and telling his story and his work and his job and stuff like that. We'll see you again soon. Peace.
Peace.